Alrighty, so just quick recap before doing my pre-market analysis. Quick recap of yesterday's trade. So that was our first loss. I already talked about it in the daily recap, and I also took this trade which hit TP overnight. I held throughout the whole day and the night, and it just went straight to TP, so that's beautiful. So that what happened is price, once we got the fractal shifting structure there, price just went up, retested the demand right there. We had a choke, a bullish choke, and we just pushed to the upside. And yeah, price hit TP, so we got for around 1 to 3.8. Didn't pay much in fees, in swap fees, maybe like $400, $500, which is fine. And price went to TP, so that's good. Now let's continue with the daily pre-market analysis. Alrighty, so pre-market analysis. 8-4, still same thing. I'm expecting this internal high to go unless proven otherwise, and price potentially continue bearish. But for now, I'm looking for that internal high to go. This 8-4 candle didn't close as I would love or as I would prefer, but of course there's an inside bar on the H4, so an H4 demand that could still hold and push price higher. We opened lower, so we could see a big wick reaction and then continue to the upside. So our swing is bearish, internal is bullish. I'm expecting price to potentially break that swing high. So we're in phase C, trying to play the reversal. Internal is bullish. We mitigated the H4 demand, then we switched bullish on the fractal structure, and we kept on going higher and higher. Now that's our fractal low, fractal high, or internal. That's the same thing. And objective would be to potentially break that internal high, and then that swing high, of course. So that's our high, our low. We only have one unmitigated extreme, which is this one. Has inducement in front of it, swept this kind of liquidity there, and we have this level as well, but it doesn't have inducement, so let's keep that in mind. I'm waiting for price to potentially come to one of these levels and give me a big bullish reaction, leaving a fresh demand that I can look for LC2A or LC1 from, and then I'm gonna be targeting the internal high there, and then target 2 would be right there. But yeah, in case price potentially break that internal low, then I'll recess and see what happened and see what I can do from there. But if we get a choke there, it would be hard to potentially look for buys still. So maybe we'll do another analysis and see how it goes. So that's all for EU. Just phase C, looking for buys potentially from the unmitigated demand. GU, same thing, same analysis. We just let me just fix this. Boom. Right. Same analysis. So we had that choke, which didn't really follow through, and it was just a grab of liquidity. That one. So that was just a grab of liquidity to potentially push higher, which happened, which exactly that's what happened. We just pushed higher right there. We didn't react to any of these levels. After we swept those highs, we had some sort of a deep or a very steep weak candle. So we can still potentially continue and push to downside to potentially mitigate that level, or we can just flush to the upside and push to the upside at once. So both can happen. Let's see the medium time frame and wait for any more real confirmation. So that's, for now, that's my internal low, H4 internal low. We don't have a high yet, but yeah, that could happen. Price could potentially push the downside from there. All of these are just fractal levels, fractal highs, to be fair. That's an internal high, but yeah, I wouldn't count that as an internal. and 15. So still, the idea is potentially to break that swing high, because for me, it's strong in the H4, but if we're looking at it from the daily perspective, then it's like if price is potentially um, if price is potentially looking to continue bullish, then potentially that high will go. Um, so yeah, unless we have another reaction, then that's the buys for now. But then if we get a daily chalk or a shifting structure, fractal structure, then of course my daily internal high, even though we don't have an enemy mitigated demand supply, my daily internal high bias, my daily internal sell bias would take place, and we're gonna look for sells. But for now, looking for buys until proven otherwise, okay? M15. So M15 is bullish. We had that shifting structure there, and we just continued bullish. That's our swing low, swing high. All right. We have two unmitigated levels. So that's our demand, extreme unmitigated demand there. Has an inducement in front of it. And that's our one of the demands in discount as well. Both of them are in discount. All right. So this doesn't have inducement, so I wouldn't be surprised if we just smashed past it and through it directly. All right. Fractal structure is bearish. We don't have any internal structure, so we could wait to see some sort of internal structure, which we should before price potentially continue higher. Or we could look for potentially an aggressive entry in the extreme demand. But unless we get an internal structure, that I'm not looking for any buys from this this demand. If we get any shift in fractal structure from this extreme demand or any entry, it'll be phase B, and I'll take that gladly. So yeah, that's basically that's all. Also, if we get a 15-minute swing low boss, then potentially that bias would be in place, the one that we could continue lower, all right, until that internal demand and then push higher, or we could just continue lower and break it. But I'll be looking for sells until we get to that internal demand. Yeah, so that's all for pre-market analysis. Let's see how price would react. It's Friday, so I'm not expecting much. Bye.